So for the strength portion this evening, we've got a main movement which is a single arm front squat, so you're going to have a dumbbell or a weight, a kettlebell, whatever in one side. That is going to be at tempo, so for those of you who are still unsure about the tempo, it's 4-2 cross 1, 4 seconds on the way down, 2-second hold at the bottom, explosive or quick on the way up, and then a 1-second hold at the top. So think 4-second on the way down, 2-second hold, quick on the way up, and it's just a pause or a breath at the top, and that pause at the top is just to allow you to set the breath, okay? And you're working 10 per side, taking a minute rest between sides. The rest is really important because one side is going to be getting worked significantly. You're going to need that rest period, and then take a slightly longer rest period at the end of both sides and work 3 to 4 sets. We've then got some accessory work, and for the accessory work you're going to need something like a chair. Preferably you want something just a little bit lower than the chair for the adductor side plank. So for your front squat you're going to need a dumbbell, and we want to get the shoulder in an active position, which means I'm not just resting the dumbbell across my chest, I'm not resting it on my shoulder, I'm holding that in place by firing up that shoulder. I would take an arm out for balance. You're going to do your front squat as normal, and then 10 per side, change sides, easy peasy, and again work for about 3 to 4 working sets. Our accessory then, we've got a single leg bridge, an adductor side bridge, and then, or adductor side plank, sorry, and then a star plank. So your single leg glute bridge, the only things that I'm going to be looking for in this are making sure your thighs are parallel throughout the movement, making sure you're avoiding any back arch, and that you haven't got any hip hiking. So if in my lying position, once I'm in plank, once I lift this leg off the floor, I do this, that suggests that I have inhibition of the gluteal muscles. So what we're trying to avoid is reinforcing this, because it's not a good position for your hip to be in. If you cannot hold the single leg plank without your hip hiking, then we're going to go for a double leg plank. So just to reset this movement, you're going to lie down, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together because this will set you in a good position, hands down. Thighs are going to come into a parallel position, push that leg away and then lift. And here, if your hip hikes, so the space between your rib cage and your pelvis scrunches up, we're going to go into a double leg glute bridge. At no point should my knees drop out to the side or my knees be touching. So for this single leg glute bridge, let me show you that again. Set the hips, squeeze your shoulder blades together, point the leg away, make sure the thighs are parallel so your leg isn't all the way up here, and then lift. If your hip hikes, you're going to go for a double leg glute bridge. We then have our adductor plank. Now the chair is probably a little bit high. I would prefer to go for something lower. Stairs are a really good one. The other thing you want to be conscious of is stress on the inside of the knee. So if you find that you're getting a lot of load on the inside of the knee, then we're just going to go for a normal plank. But foot goes on top of the object or chair or whatever you've got, 1 foot underneath, elbow directly below the, turn the chair around, that's really uncomfortable, elbow directly below the shoulder, and then the bottom leg is going to squeeze into the top leg like glue. I'm then going to lift and hold. And the reason this is a good movement is it starts to fire up those adductors and the base glute. Our last movement then for the strength work, or the strength piece, is a star plank. So the way I would get into this, set your plank first, then lift the leg, then lift the arm, and again work through the range for that. If you find in either of those movements that you can't get hips off the floor or the body in line, or you're rolling forward, we're going to go down either into a scissor foot plank or hand down. What we're trying to make sure is shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, and I'm not flexing at the hip or rolling the shoulder forward, because that negates the objective of the movement. Have a great strength session, guys. Drop me a message if you've got any questions, and of course we've got a live session at 5:30 for anyone who wants to join in.